My 38F husband, 37M, and I have been married 12 years, and have 2 daughters, 10F and 7F. We have been through a lot of stress. The restaurant we started, that we both quit our jobs to run, and for which we took out loans for, had to go out of business. When we were in our mid-20s, I faced my fair share of living on a shoestring budget. I had worked as a retail team lead to put my husband through a master's program. I've agreed to spend below our means so we could work towards his dream of owning a restaurant. I did bookkeeping for his restaurant, filled roles when people quit or called in sick, and onboarded a growing team of people. After the successful few first months, I took a step back because my husband told me I deserved to be able to sit back and just focus on our daughters / take a chance to have fun and spend money after all that I've done to get it all going. But it did not last. Costs to run the restaurant got higher. People in our town were getting laid off and weren't eating out anymore. My husband also should have realized, which he admits, that the higher sales in the beginning was partly because of new restaurant on the block syndrome. Well, one thing led to another. My husband became emotional and burned bridges with suppliers. The business is gone, but our debt is still here. Our older daughter has type 1 diabetes. My other daughter has a developmental disability she's worked with an RBT over. My husband has been on poverty finance type forums due to the stress of expenses, and I cried when we had to move out our apartment into one with pest control issues in order to afford life. We've both been sending out hundreds of applications so we can get some actual income and benefit. But now my husband and I are sleeping separately, and he's been saying he'd do anything for me, as if that makes his mood / pragmatic ideas okay. We got in a fight because his friends who have been low income their entire lives said that beer money for them could be medication / doctor visit money for us. So do what they do, donate plasma. So I find out he went to donate plasma for cash without telling me and started heavily hinting this was what allowed us to still eat after spending money on medical / therapy, and that I should donate too. When I said no, he got anxious and said he'd carve out his organs for money if it meant one more behavioral therapist visit / trip to a pharmacy covered for it. I am terrified of IVs / needles. I've been called a hard stick by my nurse cousin. Blood makes me dizzy, and the thought of doing it in front of other donors had alarm bells ringing. I was furious when he tried to guilt me into this and was running the numbers that I'd likely be getting in exchange for me essentially selling my body for money. I told him if he ever brought this up again, it's over and I'm going to a lawyer. AITA for setting this hard boundary?